Yeah, the champs are back in town here in Athens, GA. Kirby Smart off the plane after winning the national title in LA. And the mailman, yeah, he delivers as well, and he delivered another national championship. We're talking basketball tonight here in the Classic City inside of Stegman Coliseum. How about 11-4 Georgia, 12-3 Mississippi State? A pair of first-year head coaches getting the job done at their respective institutions. So glad that you can join us tonight along with the shooter, Matt Bradley. I'm Roy Philpott. And listen, Georgia Bulldogs, we're talking basketball. They've got their own version of Stetson Bennett. His name, Terry Roberts.
Oh, he is the engine for this Georgia team. 15 points, 4 assists per game. He can get to the rim. Great balance. Can finish above the rim as well. Creative and also can shoot the three for Georgia. 15 points, 4 assists per game.
Meanwhile, for Mississippi State, the big man in the post, Tolu Smith, getting it done this season.
There's a reason why he leads the SEC in field goal percentage at 60. Great footwork, creative, strong around the rim, can finish amongst anybody. 14.7 rebounds per game.
Just about set, ready to go. The buzz in the air. It still lingers from Monday's national championship win out west. M.A. Moncrief set to jump things up with Tolu Smith. Mississippi State in the road blacks. Georgia in the home whites underway in Athens, GA, and the opening tap controlled by the Dogs of Georgia. Mississippi State known for its defense, one of the top lockdown teams in America. Only giving up 56 points per. Roberts an open look. That's a three! Transfer from Bradley. And the Dogs from Georgia off and running. Starting five for Mississippi State, Deshaun Davis, Eric Reed Jr., Jeffries. We told you about Smith. Cam Matthews returning from last season's squad as well.
See that double team coming from Georgia right away on Tolu Smith. Good swing pass.
That's Davis for three. He can't answer. Smith on the offensive glass, and he was clipped by Terry Roberts. That'll be his first.
We know how good of an offensive rebounding team Mississippi State is. Georgia, good rebounding team too, but they do it in a different way. They're quick to the ball, athletic. They're going to have to gang rebound tonight. You can see early on, Coach Mike White looked like he's going to send that double team to Tolu Smith from the baseline.
Bulldogs coming off the win against Ole Miss back at the hump. That's Mississippi State. Dogs will drift back into a zone. Shot clock down to 5. Corner three on the way. Tried to bank it in, and that was Eric Reed Jr. Starting five for Georgia. As Bulldogs turn it over, Matthews the steal. Terry Roberts leading scorer. Cario Quindo, second leading scorer this season as Mississippi State finally gets on the board to make it 3-2.
10 steals a game. Mississippi State, extremely long, very disciplined defensively. You expose that basketball, they're going to get it and go the other way.
Foul was called on Deshaun Davis, his first. Free throws coming for Terry Roberts. Mike White, head coach now at Georgia. First season, making the move in the offseason from Florida. How about this nugget? 9-0 at home to start his career as a head coach. Was 6-1 during his time coming in from Louisiana Tech and with the Gators. Check it, 7-1, so he's 16-1 overall in this building.
To him.
I think so.
Been really good to him. Well, it's not easy because he's not only coming in as a new coach, but you're putting together a collection of transfers, so they're still getting used to each other. Same with Coach Jans on the other side.
Chris Jans coming in from New Mexico State. Mississippi State was ranked last month, the first time in a while. Bulldogs reeled off 11 straight to open this season. Jeffries for three, and that's short. I think it is important, you kind of turn the page. College football season ending. College basketball and league play arriving. Outside to McBride, transfer from UNT. Pat, we got to tell those stories, right? Remind everybody, hey, this is what's going down.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think there's any Georgia fans going to want to turn the page anytime soon from that national championship on Monday. They're going to keep that page and then maybe open another book, the book of basketball with Mike White.
It's been a solid book so far. Kickball stays on this end.
So early on, both teams were really good defensively. We've seen Mississippi State has been able to force deep jump shots by Georgia. Outside of Terry Roberts in a broken play, being able to get to the free throw line.
See Chris Jans.
Jans?
Well, he was properly caffeinated in our conversations today.
Oh, yes, he was.
Energy level was high.
He told me a couple of weeks ago that he's trying to cut down a little bit. I said, why?
Come on.
We need caffeine.
Too strong for Reed. The rebound pops out to Roberts.
And Georgia has won a couple of defensive possessions. They are forcing three-pointers by Mississippi State. Not that they can't shoot them, but obviously they want to establish Tolu, who's getting swarmed right now by Georgia defenders.
Jeffries with the steal. He gets it on the other end. The mid-range. No. Anselm the board.
DJ at 6'7", so versatile, can handle it, explosive, and shoot it.
McBride, the quick trigger. Anselm on the offensive glass. He was stripped. Mississippi State came away with it for a moment. Jeffries bounced it out of bounds.
That's how Georgia's going to win a lot of games. High energy, and it's similar to Mississippi State, right? When you talk about teams that are looking for different ways to score. Offensive rebounds, steals, get some in transition. It's not only on your half-court offense. It's a variety of ways for both of these teams.
Terry Roberts with all 5 UGA points at this juncture. Got a lot of fans still trying to make their way back from Los Angeles after Monday night. I was talking to a couple of the beat writers covering Georgia today. There's a couple of those still stranded.
They missed their flight?
Well, I mean,
quote unquote.
I don't know if they missed it, but there was a couple of delays this morning if you followed some of that. Just saying.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not hating on them. LA, big city of dreams.
I mean, that game ended late, so you're trying to get all your stories done. You could be stuck out there for another day.
I think they could have wrote the story in the second quarter.
Ingram, mid-range, no. Maybe in the first, given how that game started.
Yes.
17-7 right away.
Jalen Ingram injured his knee last year, spent the majority of the time when he didn't play last season on his jump shot. He's been much improved jump shooter.
Blocked by Anselm, a foul was called. Free throws coming for Matthews.
Cam Matthews, extremely athletic, but he is the emotional leader for this Mississippi State team.
Free throws have been a bit of an issue as of late for MSU.
They have, and they get to the free throw line quite a bit. Aggressive team. Matter of fact, going back to, I saw them a couple weeks ago against Alabama. That was really Achilles' heel for them.
Well, how good has Alabama looked early? I mean, Brandon Miller, all of it's been impressive.
It has been. With free throws, and Coach Jans told us today, we shoot them great, practice. And they will continue to get better. I think there's a familiarity. I think there's a routine you have to have as a free throw shooter. It's a lonely place to be, especially when you're on the road with all that noise, too.
Matthews missed both. It goes back to Georgia as a player. Was there anything that you could do back in the day at Arkansas to really work and understand the pressure, important free throws, to get better, to practice without getting actual live reps?
Well, first of all, the one thing I learned pretty quickly is practicing your free throws with nobody there in the gym is much different in the game. In the game, I bent my knees a little bit more because you tend to tense up. That's why you see a lot of front rim misses. Bend your knees, give it a little extra. Recognize that you may also be fatigued, and that's why the knee bend gives you a little more push.
Ingram attacking. Back to Mississippi State. We saw some trapping full court pressure there for the moment. Working against Georgia, 4 minutes in. The lead is 3 for the home team. A rock fight in Athens. And it was just 1 week ago, the Dogs put off the upset against top 25 Auburn. How about Terry Roberts? He went off, as did Perio Oquendo. They combined for 43. It's the first win to open SEC play at home since 2016. 12-point win, a big dub for the Dogs as SEC play is underway. All right, so Embrace the F, presented by Regions. And we're talking about if this happens, then X occurs. Mississippi State yielding just 56.7 points per game. Georgia's offense at almost 72 per. If Georgia goes for more than 70, chances are it'll be the Bulldogs from Athens that win. Mississippi State's defense takes hold. Obviously, a little bit of a different story.
I think we just saw that highlight of those two guards, Roberts and Oquendo. If you can have those two guys take care of the basketball, we know Mississippi State with their great length, 10 steals a game, they're going to turn that into transition points, and that's important for Mississippi State's offense because if they're not scoring early in transition or early in their shot clock, which they can, then they're going to hold it out and they're going to play the entire clock. So I think it's going to be important for the guards for Georgia to really control how they play their offense.
Two teams have combined to start 2 for 13.
Two defensive-minded coaches. They love what they see. But right there's that double team right there, pushing Tolu Smith way out of his shot area.
Shot clock under 10. Smith off the pump fake. Shot clock at 4. Jeffries stop and pop. No. Braylon Bridges skies for the rebound. No, Bridges playing better basketball the last 8 games.
He really is, man. He's crafty, good footwork. Lefty. Whoa! 4th row.
That had some zest on it.
Now, why wasn't that guy ready to shoot? I mean, Roy, he's in the building. What did he come here for?
That was a fastball for Braylon. I don't know that many Major League catchers could have received that.
And a little movement on it, too. A little movement on it.
That was a cutter?
Yes. You know what? I like the idea. He was looking cross court for that corner 3. Another double team.
Jeffries wide open. Got to bury that one, and he does, and we're tied at 5.
Yeah, Tolu Smith has learned how to effectively pass out of that double team, not turn it over, identify where do I want to get my guys' shots, who's open.
Justin Hill on the floor, 11 in white. Both of these teams, they're going to play a number of guys tonight. They're deep. Different kinds of role players coming off the bench. Ingram off the bounce again against Stevenson. Oquendo, gotta go. Shot clock violation.
It's going to be very difficult to try to score against Mississippi State one-on-one. Player movement, ball movement, hard cuts, hard screens. We talked about that pregame, you and I. You've got to get your players to understand how important a hard screen is, setting up that screen. You know, it's a very simple way of getting open, but you got to be committed to it. And you're not going to beat Mississippi State going one-on-one.
It's not a lot of fun setting screens, though, right?
No, it's not. But if you set a good screen, then you'll be open.
Coming off the win against Ole Miss, the defense was the story for Mississippi State, especially in that second half, that 25-12 run, 16-3 at one point, creating the change in that matchup. And again, you're only giving up 56 and change per game. And Chris Jansen's done a remarkable job on that front. Jeffries was bumped, and that's a foul. Jabri Abdur-Rahim. That's his first.
Early on, Georgia's okay. Let's see if Mississippi State can beat us from the three-point line. They don't make a bunch of them, about 6 per game. We know they want to. Most of their stuff is going to the rim, but they've had games. Shaquille Moore can knock it down. Reed can knock it down. DJ Jeffries obviously can.
A lot of people still talking about what transpired last night. 3 road teams picking up victories in the league. South Carolina upsetting Kentucky at Rupp. First win there since 2009. That was amazing.
Yeah, it really was. And South Carolina went in there and looked like the more confident team. That's the kind of pass cross court that you know Mississippi State's just waiting on.
Shaquille Moore with the bucket. Should point out Jamel Horton did not make the trip with Mississippi State tonight. Obviously, we won't see him on the floor, and perhaps more opportunities for the NC State transfer, Shaquille Moore. Boy, a scrum, a bump, and a hard hit out of bounds. Boy, Beveridge went flying on that collision.
Fans are getting into this game today.
Quindo appears to be okay, as does Tyler Stevenson. Look out below.
Yeah, Quindo coming at you. He is built solid. Both teams, high energy teams, have to play like that.
Boy, he protected his
$5 seats right there.
child there, too. That was nice by Dad.
You get shrimp cocktail, everything you need.
You going shrimp cocktail in Athens, GA in January? That's where we are?
We get a ship in.
Bulldogs get the rebound. Mississippi State with its first lead at 7-5. Shrimp cocktail, huh? Oh, man.
Spicy cocktail sauce.
A little spice. Shot clock down to 4. Handoff by Davis inside to Matthews.
That's quick ball movement, hard drives. That's what you're gonna have to do. The Georgia's a physical team. You can't, if you're gonna take it to the hole, you've got to expect to get hit.
Mississippi State, 6 points in the paint already. Dogs of Georgia in search of their first. Now with possession, trailing by 4. Roberts calling for it, wide open from downtown. We thought that was down. Davis clears the rebound. McNair checking in. Boy, he was instrumental in that comeback against Ole Miss. Tolu Smith in foul trouble. McNair went for 13, a season high. High arcing, 3 off the mark by Keyshawn Murphy, and here comes Roberts. 1-on-2. The dump off. And a layup. Moncrief the bucket.
Well done by Georgia, getting on transition, not allowing that Mississippi State long athletic defense to get set up.
I mean, I already asked you to break down the free throw game. What about the offensive game? For two teams that are built on defense, at times predicated on that side of the floor, what can you do offensively to try to find that rhythm and just score a little bit more?
Well, I'm big about spacing, right? Keep that spacing to allow your athletes to attack the basket. And that previous possession by Mississippi State, they were able to get in the paint.
Quindo, the Euro, got caught under the basket. Here comes Matthews. A physical play so far.
We know we're going to get that.
12 to go in the first. Moore the dunk. 11-7. Shaquille Moore a burst off the bench.
Shaquille Moore, did you know he could get up like that? Young fella, great attack move by Roberts. Right to Moncrief, who can finish just about among anybody out there. Want to see him get in transition, get some easy.
Right here on the SEC Network, also on the app. Nate Oates' team, Brandon Miller, playing some great basketball right now. We saw some great games last night. 3 road victories, which is a rarity, and then the South Carolina upset.
Michi Johnson,
Your boy.
26 biggins at Rupp Arena, and South Carolina was the more confident team. They were able to turn Kentucky into an indecisive defensive team, offensive team. They expose them on their high ball screens. Kentucky had Cason Wallace injured, didn't finish the game. Jacob Toppin didn't play outside, but South Carolina, wow. What a game. And Florida goes on the road. Auburn goes on the road. Both victories for those teams.
You know, those kinds of wins, especially away from home, are enormous in this league this year. And you think about it, even this game tonight, like these two teams, it feels like could very well be in the middle of the SEC pack. By the time we turn the page into February, you start thinking about postseason play, who's got a chance. Joe Lenardi has Mississippi State in the dance right now, but all of these games just become so critical because all these teams kind of look and act similar.
Right.
Some of the resumes are similar, even though MSU has a couple of quad 1 wins already.
Well, that's why we always talk about the number one thing is take care of home court, right? Because that is going to put you in the conversation. And then you go on the road, you can steal a couple. Like we saw last night. You have an opportunity where you shoot the lights out. Or you take advantage of the opponent's foul trouble. But number one, take care of home court.
Roberts off the bounce, fearless, the dump off, and a turnover.
Boy, you see that length now. Roberts gets the opportunity. He wants a switch he wants. With the great length of Mississippi State, get hands in the passing lane.
Second foul on Roberts. If you're Mike White, you have to sit him right now, right?
Yeah, well, I think he will. It is early on. And one reason, I don't always say you have to sit a guy with 2 fouls in the first half, but where is he mentally, right? And he looked a little frustrated trying to force the issue on that offensive possession, trying to go somewhere where he didn't see it. So, yeah, let him sit down, relax, watch the game from the bench a little bit, see if you can find any openings.
You can feel Shaquille Moore's confidence on the rise. Matthews off the mark. Boy, a couple of Georgia players skying for the rebound. It was Anselm that corralled it. And a foul called against Mississippi State.
Look at that size. Will McNair leaning on you. Keyshawn Murphy. He's a really talented freshman right there, number 12 from Mississippi State. Great offensive awareness. Now, he'll shoot a three, and he's hitting the rafters, my man. He's got some arc on that.
At 7 against Ole Miss, he's starting to play some good ball. Were your shots back in the day, were they high arcers, or were you more of a line driver?
Mostly high arcers.
Yes.
Hit the front of the rim, soft bounce around, goes right in.
Here's a steal by Moore. 3-on-2, the spin.
Telling you, expose it. You give Mississippi State a chance, they're getting that.
Will McNair back to the basket against Bridges. Jump hook.
See the difference there. No double team on McNair like they did on Smith. So he's going to have to show that he can score one-on-one on the block.
How are you?
Juice Holtz.
Bro.
The Alabama transfer going to shoot free throws.
Team, fam.
It's a good, strong attack, right? It was the defense shifted. Good penetration, kick back out. And you got Juice Holt, good size, puts his head down, penetrate. Georgia gets to the free throw line quite a bit. They beat Notre Dame. They dominated the free throw line, attacked Notre Dame. That nice win for Mike White.
Hold 86% at the line. The foul was called on Will McNair. That's his first. We talked about the depth for both of these teams. Georgia's bench production has been solid this year. You look at the margin, the difference. It's the opposing benches that the Dogs have seen over 11 points per game so far. That's impressive, right?
That's absolutely. And I feel like it's going to be like that throughout the season because as Mike White gets accustomed to these guys, they start to understand what he wants. What practices is like a tryout, though, every time. Something wrong with that.
Halfway through the first. Davis has it. Plenty of time to shoot for Mississippi State. Jeffries comes up short. That'll carry him out of bounds.
And part of this story early on, DJ Jeffries seems to be the guy Georgia's leaving to go double Tolu Smith. So he's going to get a lot of good looks. Already made one. Of course, they missed 9, as you can see in that graphic right there. That's what Georgia will live with, clearly.
Dogs have been aggressive by the rack. Put back is there for Bridges. And a chance for 3.
Dribble penetration, right? Dribble penetration. Here's Hill putting his head down, make or miss. Tolu Smith has to come over. Doesn't get a piece of it, I don't think, but has to contest it. And what happens? Nobody slides through. Tyler Stevenson not quick enough to get a hip on Braylon Bridges.
Career game number 100 tonight. Bridges off the mark from the stripe.
Good things happen. When you can attack the paint off the dribble.
Number 9 to play in the first. Penetrating move off the bounce. Reed lost it. Good defense by Georgia. Boy, look at the wrestling match in the paint between Bridges and Stevenson.
Yeah, you can see that developing. Bridges had Stevenson on his back right there. He wanted it. And then he felt Stevenson's kind of sliding on his side. He said, hold on now. Let me get that left chicken wing out, see if I can get him back behind me.
We got chicken wings. We got shrimp cocktail. I thought he was looking towards the expensive seats over there. How about the champion in the house? Kirby Smart in attendance with the family.
Like
back-to-back national championships, man. How good does that feel if you're a Georgia fan watching And to talk about that happening, last year the big conversation was it's been 40 years, no national championship. Right. And now you've done it back-to-back. He gets off the field Monday night into Tuesday morning. The first question is, can you make it 3 in a row?
3!
The 3-peat. I mean, people are already talking about it.
I mean, one is fresh enough 12 months ago. Just got 2. Are we ever satisfied?
As a society, no. And Kirby even said, I thought it was great after the game. He said, look, it's complacency that creeps in that is ultimately what brings you down. He goes, I'm as guilty of it as anybody.
Right.
And you look at the 58-point win against TCU, largest margin in any bowl game all time, and the back-to-back championships. Just, you can't say it enough around these parts.
Well, we know how difficult it is to continue to motivate. Even with that talent, you got to motivate those guys. And after you win, there's a sense of entitlement. Are you going to continue to dedicate yourself? And he continues to get those guys motivated.
That's a 3 by Holtz.
Great catch and shoot. He was ready. How about this, shooters? Catch and be ready.
6-0 run for Georgia in the last 2 minutes.
Have your feet set, on balance.
Well, the pass is important, too,
On time,
right?
on target, like Tom Brady. You know how it is.
Oh, wow.
Stetson Bennett, I'm sorry.
You got to come correct. Put respect on his name.
Sorry, Stetson. Here it is, though. On time, on target, but the shooter has to be ready. Good balance. Right there. No hesitation. And you see the slide, too, by Holtz. Slid over just a few feet to open up that passing lane. Georgia up 2.
Next season on Fansville, presented by Dr. Pepper.
A Category 5 wave has broken containment from the stadium and is heading straight for Fansville.
The tsunami wave?
No, something is coming.
Oh no, it's the wave.
I refuse to participate in this. The wave? What is this, the 80s?
Next season,
Make sure there's Dr. Pepper in there.
prepare to cheer. Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Well, the Georgia Bulldogs won the national championship Monday night, a 2-point lead against Mississippi State. And we show Kirby one more time because, Pat, you made a great point during the break. I mean, they're just off the plane from Los Angeles. Here's showing support for Mike White's Dogs. I think that's pretty special. Mary Beth, of course, played at Georgia as well. But that's pretty cool.
Well, anytime we go to campuses, when you see a healthy relationship between the head coaches, they support one another. It makes for a healthy entire athletic program. I mean, he could be anywhere. He could be sitting on the beach, right? You know where I would be if I won 2 national championships in a row? You'd never see me again. It'd be sayonara. Have fun, my brother, holding it down.
Hey, you'd be having the spicy shrimp cocktail
That's
somewhere.
exactly right.
Tolu Smith at the stripe. Search of his first points of the evening.
He's shining my rings right now.
Mississippi State already in the bonus. Yeah, multiple rings. He's got 2 of them as a head coach, more as an assistant. McBride too strong. Hold the rebound.
I was just going to say, Georgia's on a 6-0 run because they've been committed to attacking the paint. Found a couple of jump shots on it. A little too late.
Intercepted by Stevenson.
That's
traffic.
Come into my web, said the spider to the fly. Lets him throw it and then goes snatches it.
7 to play in the first. Smith clapping for it. He'll go to work. Double team. And out of bounds with 7 to shoot.
So in a situation like that, if Braylon Bridges is playing underneath the SEC logo, you could almost see a scenario where Tolu Smith hands off, sets a screen, and his offensive guy, whether it's Stevenson, Reed, come and turn in that corner hard, making Bridges guard him at that free throw line on top of the key. And if he doesn't, nice little stop and pop. Whatever happened to the stop and pop?
I mean, it's all layups, threes, and dunks right now. That's what I feel like basketball's all about.
Well, for some guys like myself, who the percentages went down the closer I got to the rim because of the defense, 15-foot jump shot was
Money.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And with teams, point you made, with teams focusing on the 3 and getting all to the rim, most defenses are focused on running teams off the rim and defending the rim.
Offensive foul. Mississippi State now 4.5 minutes without a point. Chris Jans doesn't like it.
And so if there is a weakness in any defense now, it's right there, that mid-range.
It's called on Cameron Matthews. Yeah, you don't see the mid-range shot glorified anymore, right? You know, I'm not watching SportsCenter and see the top 10 mid-range jumpers from last night.
You don't. Another deflection by Mississippi State. And that's another part of this first half has been Georgia's turnovers. A couple of them careless.
Just the third for Mississippi State. Already 10 for Georgia, the home team.
Well, Mississippi State, we know at times, struggles to score, right? Coach will tell you that. If you want to help them, get some live ball turnovers. Get them in transition, which they've been able to do that a few times in this first half.
7 of the 11 points scored by Mississippi State coming off of turnovers so far.
It's the most exciting 13-11 game I've been a part of.
You asked me a couple of times in a couple of different ways today, what do you think is going to happen tonight? And I said, if you score 57 tonight, that may be enough. That could do it.
Really, I do want to emphasize, you're talking two teams that care about defense.
Roberts back on the court, buries another three.
Again, how does that come? Boy, that comes on if they dribble penetration to the paint, defense sucks in, try to close the gaps, good kick out, shooter is ready on the catch.
Roberts has 8 of Georgia's 16 points. He has 2 fouls. Hasn't played a ton in the first half, but he's certainly been productive.
There's that dribble handoff. Excuse me, just that handoff screen from McNair.
McNair, no. Defended nicely by Bridges.
Second opportunity on the block, one-on-one.
It's a 9-0 run for Georgia. Ingram launching. Back to Mississippi State.
Earlier, y'all had it.
Great job here. Good penetration. No look pass to the corner. Again, did you see Roberts slide? See, that's what I'm talking about also for a shooter. You got to understand how to create a passing lane. You can't just stand there, okay? You got to slide and read where your teammate is also looking for you to get open.
Roberts, a real difference maker in the SEC in his first season in the conference, coming in from Bradley. He's looking at Florida also after entering the transfer portal. His relatives in Atlanta. McNair, no. Roberts will swat that rebound down and pops out to Hill.
Oh, had a wide open Roberts in that right corner.
Ingram again. Every pass, every touch seems to be contested on both ends.
They're quick to the ball, Georgia. There's no wonder why we've got a defensive battle there.
6.5 minutes without a point for Mississippi State. Moore's provided a spark between the legs. Fade away. And tapped out and out of bounds back to Georgia.
Good job, Terry Roberts. If you can just stay in between the man and the basket, that's the number one defensively. If you can do that, and both of these teams, that's why they're great defensively, because they do not allow you to get around them. They're going to make it difficult for you.
Now, points have been at a premium, as the score would indicate. Mississippi State just won for its last 11. We mentioned the scoring drought now totaling 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Shoot 'em.
Yeah, and the difference has been, I know it sounds strange, but you got Georgia 3 for 9 from the three-point line. Mississippi State 1 for 11, right? You're talking, it's 5-point game, so you're talking 2-possession game, but I think the ability to make a couple of triples separated Georgia.
Mississippi State also 0 for 3 from the free throw line. That continues to linger. And a blocking foul called. Penetration by Oquendo. Timeout on the floor as we step aside in Athens. The lead is 5 for the home team. 4 to go in the first.
All right, welcome in. We'll see you at the half, Dory. Patrick,
Fish. I almost went Dari Pat because I would get to work with you. Arkansas, Bama, they're underway. We will update that one. Missouri A&M will look ahead to that one as well. First half here.
10 turnovers by Georgia, but they still find a way to be in the lead.
Pat Bradley, who's the best team in the SEC?
And Dari, I have been confused with Damian Fishback many times. There is no doubt about that. At this moment, it's tough not to look at Alabama. I know Tennessee has had a heck of the last two games. But Alabama, the ability to score, we know that they are committed defensively, but that to me kind of has separated them.
Tennessee, can lock you down. We saw that in Columbia, South Carolina last weekend. They only gave up 42 points in the entire game. South Carolina had 42 points in the first half last night in Kentucky. Tennessee, Bama, pick your poison. Those two are going to be battling near the top of the conference these entire next 60 days. It's going to be fun.
In college basketball, it's tough and rare to have a team where they're scoring 75 to 8. Like it's non-negotiable. That's how good they can score the basket. They can score. So that's why Bama's so dangerous, and they just keep coming at you.
Jeffries wide open off the Roberts miss. No. The lid on the basket for Mississippi State to start tonight. Roberts behind the back. Oh, and the block and a foul call. Moncrief was set for takeoff.
Anytime I see a play like that, I immediately look at the coach to see what his reaction is to that. Ooh, he had three guys. What a play by Roberts. Little ball fake. Gets two Mississippi State's defenders on him, and then he attacks the paint. That, to me, has been what Georgia has done much better the second part of this first half. They've been committed to getting the ball in the paint.
2 free throws for Moncrief, the transfer from Oklahoma State. It's now an 11-0 run for Georgia.
They've been finding those driving lanes, which isn't easy against Mississippi State. Credit Hill, Quendo, and of course, Terry Roberts.
Jeffries picked up the personal on the block. 3.5 to play in the first. Georgia now with its largest lead. Back to the zone. Do you like the switch up given how effective Georgia's been naturally to start this game? That's a 3, and that'll break the scoring drought. Almost 8 minutes. Davis for 3.
Well, he's a shooter too, so when you go to that zone, you've got to communicate who we're going to identify. Davis can knock it down.
45% from distance. Quendo off the mark. The rebound by Anselm, and a fresh 20. PB, you figure maybe one scoring run of 10-0, 12-0 in this game could be enough. Spin by Moncrief, the block from behind by Jeffries without fouling.
It's kind of athleticism DJ gives you on the defensive end. Here comes the double team. Good cut by Jeffries.
Oh, the bounce pass by Smith. Jeffries was fouled on the second attempt.
Okay, that's smart basketball. DJ Jeffries, right? First half has been standing waiting for that three-point shot. What does he do? He cuts to the basket. I love it. Great pass by Tolu. Good communication by those guys. Coach Jan says, hey, DJ, if your guy, you end up being the open man. How about cut? We want you around the rim, as athletic as he is.
Foul was called on Justin Hill, his first. Both teams in the bonus. Mississippi State 1 of 4 now from the line after that make by Jeffries.
Very rarely are you going to be able to score just standing still. Even those three-point shots we saw, it was maybe 2-3 steps to the right, 2 to the left. Saw Jeffries there, cut down the middle, catching traffic. Stayed with it, got blocked, but stayed with it.
Mississippi State went almost 8 minutes without a single point. It's a one-possession game.
And the way both these teams defend, they can turn your water off really quick for like 4 or 5 possessions in a row.
Oquendo too strong from downtown. Jeffries attacking. Jones checking in, and now Moore. He's got 7 off the bench. Mississippi State back in front.
Boy, that ball was zipping around. Quick passes.
Maybe they didn't score for 8 minutes. They've scored 8 points in the last 72 seconds. Explain that.
Well, it started with them being able to get 3-4 stops in a row, too. A lot different when you're not taking the ball out of the net.
Gur-Rahim, contested 3. Jeffries clears. And a foul called. Anselm shoved down Deshaun Davis.
On that last possession, DJ Jeffries attack. You see just how quick he is, decisive. Jones, what a good swing pass.
Well, Sean Jones Jr.'s played in 6 games this year. This is game number 7. And again, we mentioned no Jamel Horton tonight. So maybe that deepens the rotation for Chris Jansen company a little bit. Bridges back on the floor. Anselm to the bench after picking up the foul for Mike White. Davis 67% at the line this season. That's the front end of the 1-and-1. Back to Georgia.
You know, as tight as this game is, you know it's going to come down to free throws and who can get layups, who can prevent them. It always comes down these games of free throws and layups.
Mike White, fresh off the return to Florida this past weekend. Told us pregame he was happy to get that behind him. Great seeing a lot of familiar faces in Gainesville. Bridges jumping for the rebound. I believe he was clipped. Moore thought that it should have been on 23 and instead goes on Davis.
Georgia, good offensive rebounding team.
I'll put Bridges at the line and Braylon.
Wow, $500,000. That's putting in some work.
All right, so there is some symmetry tonight with Braylon Bridges and his numbers. And if you look at it, Mike Mobley, the outstanding SID, sent us this text earlier. Braylon Bridges, game number 100 tonight. 11 points short of 1,000 for his career and only 6 boards short of 500. So, I mean, there's a chance. In one game, he plays in his 100th game. He scores his 1,000th point and also has now recorded his 500th rebound.
I just saw numbers just circling around your head like E equals MC squared.
It's like a scene from The Hangover.
You're a chemical engineer. Computer engineer.
Close enough.
Close. I mean, I never met one of those in my life.
Believe me, I'm not one. Tied at 19. Approaching a minute to play. Tolu Smith, short, gets it back. Was bumped and a late whistle. That was the right call. Tolu wanted 3. Instead, he'll get a chance for 2 at the line.
Got to give a lot of credit to Abdur-Rahim, Braylon Bridges. They've been fighting Tolu Smith and Will McNair. Big-bodied guys all half.
Second on Bridges, by the way.
This is the part of the game that Tolu has got to improve on.
This is the front end of a 1-and-1 earlier. Gets 2 shots here. 1 more coming. Don't forget our women's basketball doubleheader tomorrow night. Undefeated LSU. Angel Reese on the road to battle Haley Frank and Mizzou. That's at 7. Followed by the Lady Vols and Texas A&M at 9 Eastern. Right here on the SEC Network. Also on the ESPN app. Angel Reese has been must-see TV on the women's side as LSU continues its impressive start. Tolu Smith, 60% from the floor and about that same number from the line. 0 for 3 tonight. He's yet to score in this game, Pat.
That double team from Georgia, it forced him to pass out of it.
Bryant off the mark. Under a minute to play. Shaquille Moore making about 2 for 1. Jeffries. I like the early shot, though, because you get a chance to get the ball back because you went quick.
Right. Absolutely. And that's part of what Coach Haynes told us. We'll try to score early at times, the shot clock.
5.5-second differential between the clocks. Justin Hill. Dur-Rahim wide open. And he was bumped. Boy, Jones clipped him on the blow-by. 3 free throws coming for Jabri Abdur-Rahim.
That's a tough one to explain to Coach. Coach, I was just trying to get my hand in his face.
Well, that look says it all.
And he thrust his elbow right into my hand. How could he do that, Coach? Ooh, oh, it was the bottom part, the leg. Interesting.
Well, we had a great conversation with Jabri Abdur-Rahim before tip tonight. Came over, chatted us up for a little bit, wants to be a sports broadcaster at some point in time. And he looked at you and said, I'm going to take your job one day. Shooter?
I said, fine, give me your jersey. You're in. You're subbing in. But yeah, it looked like Jones and Abdur-Rahim, their legs got tangled up.
Well, you got to be careful as the shooter because you kick that leg up, that could be...
I thought they were going to look at it in the monitor, actually.
Offensive foul, right? Did not do it. There's a foul. Eric Reed Jr. somehow claimed the rebound, hit the deck and paid for it. He'll get 2 free throws.
I love the fearlessness on both teams, right? Don't you? I mean, it's just guards attacking the offensive glass, looking for contact.
Mississippi State, you know about their defense. Previous low scoring in a half of basketball this season before tonight was 21, and that looks like it will be broken. One more free throw coming for Eric Reed Jr. to get the Bulldogs from Starkville to 20.
You're Coach Jans, and you come into a tough place to win, and you say, if I can keep this close, last 5 minutes of the game, right, we got a shot. And that's your mentality when you go on the road.
Short. Oquendo over the backboard. And that sequence, a microcosm of a rock fight of a first half. 20 minutes in, 20-19, the home team in front of Mississippi State. Halftime report coming up right now. Dari Noka, Patrick Young, and Fish.
That's who it is. What's up? Thank you all very much. All right, 1 point.
You remember now, right?
It's me, Pat, and Pat every Tuesday, but it's Wednesday, and Phoebe and I switched, and I got all...
subbing in for Pat.
It's so good to see.
Great to be
Look at it. I would like the
reversed.
audience's input on this, okay? Because you sat down, you said, if we could lower the
Oh, my
shot,
goodness.
if you two swapped socks, I think that would be just a perfect pairing. You got the blue that match his suit. You got the purple that match his beautiful house shoe slippers there. Look at you guys.
These aren't house shoe slippers.
I'm just playing. Those things are so cool. They're soft.
Yeah, Dar, you're right. I thought the defense of Georgia and Mississippi was outstanding in that first half. Just simply outstanding basketball.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just start. The 13th worst shooting team in the SEC is living up to its name right now, and they're only down 1, 20-19. This is throwback basketball, right? We're doing the jump ball after every basket.
Oh my goodness, you might as well be.
No, this is what we've seen from Mississippi State all year long now.
Yeah.
Mississippi State, I remember I went to see them practice, and I was telling you guys this before, and I said, Coach Jans, I've seen almost every team in the league practice. You all have some of the most athletic, best culture, and defensive team that I've seen. You just can't really shoot the basketball. And he said, well, we're going to score off our defense. This is their type of game. They're used to holding teams in the low 50s, right? Their first 8 games, they held all of those teams to 55 or less. So this is a Mississippi State type game. I'm anxious to see if Mike White can make some tweaks or adjustments in the second half, Pat.
Well, to your point, Mississippi State has done a fantastic job defensively. They forced Georgia into 10 turnovers, switching their defense up, trapping at the half court. But you would expect more points to be scored. Only 7 points off a turnover so far. Mississippi State, Georgia's doing a fantastic job. First, double teaming Tolu Smith, who's leading the league in field goal percentage right now, getting the ball out of his hand, and also just clogging the paint in general, saying, hey, we're going to let you guys shoot because we don't think you can. It's good to see Shaquille Moore finding some rhythm. He's been struggling a lot earlier this season. I'm a huge fan of his. But this is a barn burner of a game. Both teams shooting under 25%, 3 of 14, 3 of 15 from the three-point line.
Like burn it? Burn the barn?
Like burn the barn. Burn the barn.
What do you think Coach Jans would have said had you said, what do you do about 2 for 10 free throw shooting? Because that's what they are right now.
They're the
Yeah,
worst in the league.
that's unfortunate. They're the bottom of the league in free throw shooting.
Bad.
Part of that, though, is
Yeah.
Tolu Smith struggles, and he's the guy that shoots a lot of those free
Yeah.
throws. They're just going to have to get better.
He needs to use our buddy AK's, Andy Kennedy's thing. When he had an Ole Miss team that was the worst in the league in shooting, he
Yeah.
used to say, come on, guys. I know you. You love free stuff. Why don't you love free points? 2 for
Great
10.
point. I like that.
All right, 1 point game. All right, much more still ahead. They are underway, by the way, in Alabama and Arkansas. And oh my goodness, Red Panda's on the floor in Athens. We're going to show her. All right, let's update. Dari, PY, Fish, Arkansas, Alabama, top 15 battle in Fayetteville. Mikael Mitchell. Oh, goodness. 3-point play. You know how many points he's got so far, guys? 2, 3. No, it's a 3-point play. He can't have 2.
Could have missed the free
Well,
throw.
he could have missed the free throw.
But then it would have not been a 3-point play.
You're right.
Would have been a 3-point opportunity. Anthony Black on the drive. Hangs, knocks it down. I feel like we got to develop chemistry here, Fish.
Right, our first time.
All right, other side here. A little steal from Alabama. Mark Sears. Sears.
What a pickup he was, the Ohio transfer for Coach Nate Oates.
Sears got 8 points. That leads everybody in the game right now. It's Bama on the road up 17-12 on Arkansas.
Nice.
All right. What's that?
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Um,
Don't know if they can score enough points, though.
That's the thing. I mean, Arkansas, we know what they are at home. We know they're tremendous. They've won 17 straight at Bud Walton Arena. This is a really good test for them. But every time it seems like we look up there, at least a couple of times,
Yeah.
we've seen officials having to kind of separate. These are 2 really good teams that play with a lot of pride, right?
Yeah, a lot of pride, and you can see right here, you know, and what has not been shown in a lot of these plays is what kind of the buildup is. I don't know exactly what's going on there. And then you got Javon Quinley here, just going to the basket. Not a lot there, in my opinion. But it's a physical league, right? People talk about the Big 10, the Big 12, Big East being a physical league. SEC is as physical league as there is in the country.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's always the game within the game, right?
Sure.
But you have to keep your composure, understanding whatever coach commanded and demanded of you to emphasize into this game. And for Alabama, taking care of the basketball, running your offense well. If you take care of the basketball against this Arkansas team, they struggle to score in the half court so much. Their defense is what allows them to find easy baskets. If you just force them to play half court in the half court, they're going to struggle. For Alabama, we know Brandon Miller hasn't been able to be very effective in this game thus far, but I won't be surprised if he comes on as of late. Ricky Council as well on the Arkansas side. He's a one-man show, wrecking crew. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, the game's tight right now, but Alabama is slowly but surely showing who they are.
Bama's up 7, and Miller has played 7 minutes, has a rebound and a foul, hasn't attempted a shot, no points, nothing of any kind. 19-12, Alabama leading Arkansas. We'll keep you posted on that one. All right, we told you Red Panda was at Stegman in Athens. And if I should be her representative. I would take,
Yes, you
I would
should,
take
man.
5%
You
of
love
her
Red
cut.
Panda.
Okay, I just said. Because when we see her, we got to show you her. She's legendary. I was in college in Norman, and she was doing halftime entertainment on a basketball game.
Really?
Yes. Kelvin Sampson.
Has she gotten better? Has she improved?
Look. Let's analyze this, shall we? That
Sorry.
balance is phenomenal.
Well, it's all about execution.
Right?
So you don't want $1 million start and a
Look at
penny
this
finish. Let's see.
Panda. Locked in. Panda. Panda. We got 9 seconds, Panda. Panda, we're going to break from way downtown.
Oh!
We'll give her that one. We give her that one?
Yeah, I give it to her.
I'm married, man.
Including moments ago. Red Panda, I mean, getting it done
No
with
way.
the bowls. It never gets old. You never think she can do it. And then she drops a hammer and she gets it done. Tremendous halftime festivities. Here in the Classic City, 20-19, our score, the home team in front of the visitors from Starkville, Mississippi. Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott. We called it a rock fight right before halftime in the toss in the studio. Defense was the name of the game so far. I don't know. What's your takeaway here?
Well, it was. We knew coming into it, both teams, both coaches stressed defense. They're built around their defense, so we knew it was going to be difficult. I do feel like this one's going to come down to the free throw line and who's able to get high percentage shots.
Shooting, bit of an issue for two of the top three leading scorers in this game. Tolu Smith, scoreless in the first half. Kerry Oquendo, scoreless, second leading scorer for the Georgia Bulldogs. All right, that's got to change. Tolu got some touches.
He did.
Got to the line, missed some free throws. Anything that you would change up in how Mississippi State conducts its offense?
Well, Tolu Smith has gotten it on the block. He's seen that double team. He's passed out of it effectively. Made a pass to DJ Jeffries for a three. Again, DJ Jeffries cutting down the middle of the lane for another pass. He's gotten to the free throw line. So in a game where points, yes, are not at a premium, and Tolu without a field goal has still made an impact. Makes a couple of free throws and a couple of buckets. Right back to where we'd expect him to be.
Terry Roberts did have 8 in the first half, 2 threes, a couple of free throws. Shaquille Moore off the bench with 7 to pace Mississippi State. We'll see if there's a different rhythm to start our final 20 in Athens. Matthews, the jump stop. Jeffries launching a 3, and that's all net. So a good start for Mississippi State. They're back in front.
Well, you figure that they're not going to continue to shoot that poorly from the three-point line. So at some point, it's going to start to fall for them. That's Jeffries' second.
MSU now 4 of 15 from deep, just 2 of 10 from the free throw line. But at some point, that starts to become a mental thing to try to get over that, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's confidence from there. Feeling comfortable when you shoot. Good job by Moncrief. I almost thought, and the other end of the floor, Cam Matthews, we see him get in the paint. Cam's such a great athlete, right? We got right to the SEC logo. Makes a good pass. And you see Terry Roberts, because Tolu Smith is on that side. Terry Roberts backpedals just enough. DJ Jeffries says, that's too much space, young man. We'll put this up. But the advantage there, DJ had his feet set.
Bridges turns it over. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass at the last second.
Again, I'd love to play on Tolu Smith's side. Ooh. So, great question. You asked what could Tolu do. That time he sees the double team, knows where it's coming from, slips right through it. Just splits that double team straight to the basket.
Hey, that's third personal on Braylon Bridges, so that's a developing story to start our second half. And let's see if Tolu can connect at the line for the first time.
And that's another advantage about throwing it down to your big fella who is going to get fouls on the opponent.
Top 15 in the league in scoring, top 5 in rebounding, Tolu Smith.
I mean, that one was in. I mean, that was in. Just scored it out.
Well, man, between me and you, testing out both of these rims earlier today, pregame warm-ups, before the shoot-arounds, they're pretty soft. So you get a couple bounces on those putties.
You were all net mostly, though.
Smith missed a pair. I mean, they felt soft. I don't know technically how you judge that.
It's your trajectory and your shot.
Those 2 missed free throws, you get free T-shirts here at Stegman. That had everybody excited. Davis, nice dribble. Tolu Smith, and with the bounce, that time his first points. Mississippi State by 4.
It's a good finish by Tolu Smith, and you wonder if Georgia, instead of giving him a layup, will elect a foul and keep sending him to the free throw line.
Right. Speaking of fouls, a hard collision. Roberts fell down.
What would it come off of? Again, dribble penetration. A little pass back by Deshaun Davis.
Tolu Smith picks up his second foul on the other end. 2 free throws for Terry Roberts, who does have the 8 points. 2 of 6 shooting. He's perfect at the line tonight, now 3 of 3. So 1 possession game just underway in our second half. Georgia loss at Florida, a win at home here a week ago against top 25 Auburn. Mississippi State, the schedule's been brutal as league play is now underway, facing Bama and Tennessee to start. Made that win against Ole Miss critical this past weekend, and now a road trip here in Athens. 1-2, the Dogs from Starkville. Blocking foul called on Moncrief.
That's action again by Cam Matthews attacking that paint.
Talking about the schedule. A brutal start for Mississippi State, and it gets a little more difficult. 4 of your next 5 in the AP Top 25. A road trip to Auburn coming up on Saturday night. And then you get Bama and Tennessee all over again, right? So
it's a tough way to start the SEC. Bama, Tennessee. You learn a lot about your team right away.
good bounce. Another bucket. That was Matthews. So it was the best start for Mississippi State this season at 11-0 since back in 2003. And those 3 straight losses, and now the win against Ole Miss. We'll see what happens tonight. 4-point lead on the road.
And the start to this second half, everything's been at the rim for them.
Roberts, that's a goaltend. Count the bucket. He's got 12.
Great little slippery move by Terry Roberts getting to the basket. Georgia, I felt like, had settled for a couple of jump shots. The first couple of possessions of this half get downhill to the rim.
Numeral 0 in white has half of Georgia's points tonight. 12 of the 24.
Okendo was big in that Auburn win, and gonna have to have somebody else step up for Georgia.
Anselm the rebound off the Jeffries miss. Your first time seeing Terry Roberts in person. He's got all kinds of quick twitch, doesn't he?
There's no doubt. He's, other than trying to force it in right there, he's got great length too. His wings, about 6'3", but his wingspan's got to be about 6'7", 6'8", which makes him a really good defender. You see him close that gap right there on Deshaun Davis.
Yeah, Mike White was very complimentary. Roberts nearly had the steal on cue.
And he plays with an edge.
Smith, a crossover. And going up strong was hammered. Tolu Smith more aggressive to start our second half. He'll get 2 more free throws after the shove. And Moncrief just picked up his second foul in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think what you said there was important, because in that first half, he was accepting that double team, right? He demands it. He's good enough in that post, passing out of it. This half, he says, I'm going to force the issue. I'm going to take this right to the hole.
For 6 at the line tonight. Numbers for Tolu. His production has gone up compared to a season ago. First in the SEC in field goal percentage. Preseason all-first team. Struggles continue there.
I tried not to say anything that time. So I'm trying to stay neutral.
I mean, you got to report the news. Chris Jans can't believe it. I mean, look, you talked with him about it earlier today at shoot-around, and, you know, what do you do? How do you handle it? And Coach was like, hey, we feel like we're going to make the next one. They practice it well. They make their free throws, shoot around.
I know it sounds crazy, but he's right around the rim. It's not like, you know, he's throwing up an air ball, or it's, you know, it's like a missile hitting the rim of the backboard. It is bouncing around. So, I mean, he does have a high release, not bad. I'd like him to tuck that right elbow in a little bit more.
%14 at the line tonight, 2 of 14. That is a big-time difference maker. Think about the lead would be right now if you make half of those.
There's no doubt. How about your big fella being able to defend out there in the perimeter, though, against the opposing team's best guard?
Davis left wide open. Packed out by Holt. Moore, boy, came down awkwardly, and a foul will be called on McBride.
Yeah, it looks like McBride came right down on Moore's shoulder, left shoulder there.
Got a 2-point game, 4 minutes into our second half. Mississippi State, the visitors, out in front. Athens, Georgia. 2-point lead for Mississippi State. Bulldogs at 12-3 from Starkville, Georgia at 11-4, 1-1 in the SEC. A lot of basketball left to be played in a game that has been predicated on defense, with the exception of Terry Roberts, the Bradley transfer. He's got half of Georgia's points.
There's no doubt. He's 6'3". He's got really good length, but he's got a great understanding of change of speed and change of direction. And for anybody out there, any young players out there, Doesn't matter how fast you are. Doesn't matter how quick you are. If you understand change of speed, change of direction, defense can't stick with you. And Terry Roberts does a really good job of that. Creates space for him for his jump shot, but also allows him to find a seam in the defense. And he's made some really nice passes. Got his teammates some open looks. Impressed with him. He's got an edge now, Roy. He's got an edge. Better be careful.
Mike White said he's fiery, he's competitive. He's not the most vocal player on the roster necessarily, but he's also matured a good bit in these last couple of weeks. Now the conference play is here, and he thinks that's really going to pay dividends entering the heart of league play in the SEC.
And he's with the right coach in Mike White, who understands guys and how to handle their emotions. Great pass, Tolu Smith.
Davis wide open. Smith looking for the dime, doesn't get it. Anselm gets the rebound. Georgia can tie it with a 2. Back in front with a 3. Mississippi State on the road and Auburn late Saturday night. That's the 8:30 tip here on SEC Network. Georgia goes to Ole Miss at 1 o'clock Eastern here on SEC Network on Saturday.
And that was just a slow developing play for Georgia. Got the steal back there, but there was that offensive play to try to slow it down. They just didn't move it quick enough. Slow ball movement and play movement.
Saturday slate, you got Kentucky, Tennessee on ESPN. Davis just picked up his 3rd. Told you about the 2 games involving these 2 teams. Arkansas at Vanderbilt. That could be a little bit of a dicey road game in Nashville, 2 o'clock Eastern, ESPN.
Not an easy place to go and win. Vanderbilt is a physical team. Big team with Liam Robbins, big physical guy. Quentin Malora Brown. Jordan Wright, heck of a player. Whew.
And a foul. A hard collision.
Missouri at Florida is going to be a great game, too. Missouri, how about them with their fast-paced pressure defense?
I mean, that team has completely changed everything about itself.
Man, they fit so well together. They fit all of those guys. Now, they're older players, but they understand their roles, and they have fun playing.
Another game headed your way tonight here on SEC Network. We've got Texas A&M and Missouri, 8:30 Eastern, Bryan College Station. Mizzou, of course, ranked in the top 20. Boy, Hodge has been impressive in the backcourt. Bridges and a chance for 3. Well, here comes some offense. Braylon Bridges, 3 personal fouls, a strong finish at the rack.
And quick passes, quick cuts, unlike that last possession. Georgia looked connected. Everybody understood where they're supposed to be. Got it to Bridges. Boy, he's crafty around that rim.
First 7 games this year, averaging about 3 points per contest. The last 8, 11 per game.
He's an offensive player Mike White trusts to get him the ball, and he can facilitate. Run your offense through him. Good passer.
Braylon now 5 points away from 1,000 points in his career. He just reached rebound number 500 earlier tonight in game number 100 overall. Jeffries, patient finish, just threw it up there and it trickles down. He's got 10.
That's what he can give you. We talked about his athleticism. When he is in attack mode, DJ Jeffries, really not much he can't do. Can pass it, could score, great athlete. And plays a top on that 1-3-1 defense. It's tough to get a pass around his arms.
Game has been competitive. 3 ties, 7 lead changes already. High arcer off the glass by Hill. No, it'll be tracked down. Abdur Rahim. Contact inside. Juice Holt thinking that he was hammered. I believe he was.
That's what Georgia could do to you. They're quick to the ball, athletic. You see how aggressive they are to that offensive glass. Anything, get them second chance opportunities. In a game like this, boy, it's a loose ball, offensive rebound, stick back. Anything could determine this game.
3rd foul on Cameron Matthews. He'll get a breather. Stevenson back on the floor. So Matthews has 3. Davis has 3 for Mississippi State. Points have been tough to come by tonight. Not for Terry Roberts, but that pass over the back and out of bounds.
That was a tough one to catch. Terry seemed like he had already gotten where he wanted to. Maybe a little floater, stop and pop. Roy Philpott special. Oh, stop and pop.
Stop and pop, baby.
From the logo. I'm talking the SEC logo.
That's right. They do have range. It's not as deep as I would like to believe that it is. Touch for Stevenson.
A lot of standing around right now.
Crossover. Jeffries kept his balance. Drew the foul. Right around the rib cage, going up.
That is just being committed by DJ Jeffries. He said, I'm going to get something out of this. And he did. He was able to create something really out of nothing because Mississippi State had just looked like everybody feet were in cement.
Foul was called on Holt. Jeffries shooting 2. Get one more. Next Tuesday night's college basketball doubleheader starts at 6:30 Eastern. But at 8:30, we've got number 4 Alabama on the road in Nashville against Vanderbilt. Liam Robbins, Jordan Wright. 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Right here on the SEC Network, also on the ESPN app. Mississippi State gets the offensive rebound. Now 2 of 16 from the free throw line tonight. McNair, offensive foul. Bridges drew it. That's a big call. Braylon Bridges has 3 fouls as it is.
And they've been challenging Will McNair to score one-on-one in that block. Braylon Bridges, not only does he give up, but Will McNair is a big human being. Falls right on top of him.
We go back to the last game, the win against Ole Miss. He had a team-high 13 with Tolu Smith on the bench in foul trouble. Chris Jans said it this week. That meant everything. Chris Jans all into the rivalry as well early in his career. So the conversations were a little different before that game. Fans, everybody else. Terry Roberts, a different finisher at the rim tonight. He's got 14 and Georgia back in front.
A lot of credit for Braylon Bridges to get it right back out to him. It was a give and go inside out.
Stevenson lost it. Abdur Rahim corrals it.
Whoa!
Holt for 3. He just had a headband fly right at us.
That was Tyler Stevenson.
Who was it?
Tyler Stevenson.
I think he heard something you said. He didn't like it. You're screaming something whizzed right between us. What just happened?
We got a basketball flying around the stands. Shrimp cocktail. Headbands.
Moore aggressive. Drew the foul. And Shaquille Moore, the NC State transfer. Shooting free throws when we return. Well, coming up, we will touch base with our good friends Dave Neal, John Sundvold from Reed Arena. After this, back end of our doubleheader tonight, Reed Arena, Bryan College Station, our good friends Dave Neal, John Sundvold join us right now. And gentlemen, what can we expect tonight there in the Lone Star State?
Well, another great crowd. Obviously, Texas A&M's hot, 4 wins in a row. Missouri's won 4 of the last 5. Ranked in the top 20. We've got 2 different styles of basketball going head-to-head here tonight.
Dave, 2 cultures collide a little bit. Buzz Williams does what he does. Dennis Gates does what he does. Up-tempo, back and forth should be a great one.
Yeah, high-scoring Missouri on the road here at A&M. Man, this is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, you guys will stick around and watch a little bit of this after you're done there. Good seeing you guys, by the way.
Gentlemen, we look forward to it. Thank you for checking in with us. And look, PB, that's going to be a different vibe in that game.
Oh, yeah.
To what we've seen here in the Classic City so far, right?
Well, this has been a physical defensive matchup. Coach Kirby Smart is here, and I know he loves what he sees with the physicality in this one. However, Texas A&M and Missouri are both high-pressure defensive teams. Want to get out in transition. There's the coach, Kirby Smart, right there, and his lovely family.
You could imagine him back in the day, like playing some high school hoops, and there's a forearm involved, right?
He's a back you down kind of guy.
Yeah, I think
he tries to get you on his hip. Can you see him playing with his kids in the driveway? He tries to get him on the hip and backs you down.
He probably dunks on him, knowing Kirby, right? I mean, he's probably physical with the fam, playing little hoops there. You know, Mary Beth, she was an outstanding player, so You know, she's won her fair share.
Well, there's no doubt she can outshoot him. Question is, how low does he have to put that rim to get that dunk?
And he's still got a little ups in there. Yeah, maybe.
Coach. I know he's enjoying this game.
No question. Mention it is a great show of support.
It really is. For the demands on his time and then for him to get home and be a part of this game is fantastic.
And he just got off the airplane yesterday, right? Just got back into town, coming in from LAX. Back-to-back championships. 5 to shoot for Terry Roberts. Lost the handle. There's a steal. Eric Reed Jr. Jeffries. How about the block by Oquendo? Two of the most athletic guys in the SEC meeting at the rim. Ooh. Yet to score tonight. Almost traveled there.
Yeah, that was as close as you can get without getting called for it.
Skip pass is picked off by Reed.
Will McNair coming over in that double, making himself huge, getting a deflection for that steal.
More thinking about it. And a turnaround is there for Stevenson, so some offense off the bench.
That's his range. You talking about the mid-range, that 15, 17-footer. Tyler Stevenson has that shot. Good decision by Shaq Moore, too. He could have went to McNair or Stevenson.
Roberts, an acrobat in the air. Foul called on the attempted putback. Moncrief was there.
Right here, we see Shaq Moore's got a decision. McNair was diving to the hoop. Tyler Stevenson right there, the short corner, faced up. So what's the defense giving?
Stevenson picks up his second foul on the other end. Bridges at the line. 2 for 4 there tonight. 81% this season. A left-handed big, certainly an outstanding passer for head coach Mike White. And he talked about that with us today, that run the offense through him, get him the touches, and he's going to spot guys that are open.
He's a real under control player. He cannot get sped up, strong. And as a lefty, you don't defend those often, so the angle he comes from is just, you're not used to it as a defender.
I think back to that Notre Dame game, he went 9 for 9. Georgia beat the Fighting Irish non-conference play a month ago. Bridges instrumental there, and that was kind of the turning point for him. McNair, patient. How about that? Will McNair, first bucket.
Well, they went back to him 5 times, and he delivered. One-on-one on the block.
Roberts will feed Bridges. Against McNair, the left-hander. Connects.
It's about the position, right? Both big men did their work early, getting deep in the paint.
Shaquille Moore thought about it. Could have been a long 2. Now this game's starting to develop a big man rhythm. Jump hook on the other end. McNair short. And here's Justin Hill ahead to Oquendo. Hill. That's a 3! Georgia back in front, 35-34. And a timeout called by Mississippi State.
This was a huge shot to give Georgia that 1-point lead. Hill had the big man Will McNair on him. He knows he's going to have some space. McNair gives him a little bit too much. Hands down, that's what he's going to do. Georgia up 1. Justin Hill takes his time, finds his range downtown.
Great atmosphere tonight in Athens, Georgia, and the home team a 1-point advantage against Mississippi State. 11-win Dogs against the 12-win Mississippi State Bulldogs. Pair first-year head coaches, and Pat, these guys have got these teams off to good starts this year in a very difficult league, as we understand it. Mike White and Chris Jans.
There's no doubt that the challenge, of course, as we know, is trying to get the collection of guys, transfers, first-year guys, to get all on the same page, and both defensive-minded coaches. So I think that has helped them because offenses take a little time to understand guys' tendencies, but if you can get guys to play hard, play defense, that's going to give you a chance in every game. And that's what both of these coaches have been able to establish early on.
Dennis Gates at Mizzou right now, maybe the front runner to be SEC Coach of the Year. The job that he's done, and they're in the top 20. The win against Kentucky tonight, you'll see them later, as we just told you about with Dave Neal, John Sunvold against Texas A&M. Kickball out of bounds.
That time, Mississippi State, all 5 guys seem to be inside the 3-point line. Maybe get a little bit of spacing, a little better angle, make that entry post pass.
And you would also think Nate Oates, Rick Barnes, Alabama, Tennessee, top 5 programs have a chance to those honors with a lot of basketball left to be played. Rebound claimed by Terry Roberts. Quindo still scoreless. Offensive foul.
It's a big play, and Quindo has been able to get it on that left wing a couple times. And they're just trying to get a little bit too quick. Loses the ball, again, under control. He's so quick, athletic, and explosive. He doesn't need much room, but he can't force the issue. It'll come.
Four ties, 10 lead changes so far. Mississippi State would love to make it 11 on this possession. Shaquille Moore, he will do exactly that. He's now in double figures with 12. 37-35. Hill feeling it. That's a 3. He's got 6. We had that huge shot against Auburn a week ago. 2 big ones so far in the second half tonight. And a ticky-tack foul. Good call against Anselm.
Good job right there. Just nobody steps up. Tolu Smith tried to make him go wide. Good job, but just didn't. No recovery fast enough. Hill didn't hesitate. That's what I love about that. Similar to his last 3. No hesitation. Saw he was open. Rise up and shoot it. And for Shaq Moore, it was no coincidence that his open 3 came off of a pass to Tolu Smith. Tolu immediately right back out to him.
1-1, both teams in the bonus. Smith at the line. And he'll get the additional free throw. That's got to be a big sigh of relief, right?
That's it, right? A little pressure off him now, can relax.
It's amazing how one free throw can alter confidence. Remember Karl Malone used to stand in the line, he would almost talk to himself, try to will it in. 2 for 2 that time for Tolu.
Talk to the ball. And that could be, that's huge, because now, Mississippi State's going to want to throw it to him for the rest of this game. Get it to him, feed the big man. If he gets fouled, it's not like a turnover now, if he can continue to make some free throws.
Roberts, lightning quick. Nearly turned it over, and in fact does. Mississippi State gives it right back. The traveling call. 7:54 to go, the under-8 media timeout. Well, shooting has been a bit of an issue in this game for other players around the league, where it hasn't been a problem. Wednesday heaters coming up. State over Georgia, Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott. Shooting has improved in the second half, but as we look around the league, who has impressed you at this point, and perhaps on a bit of a heater? Wow. Pat Bradley.
The heaters. Well, this season, nobody's been better than Brandon Miller over the course of this season. The freshman leads the SEC in all the shooting categories. But how about Meechie Johnson?
Meechie.
Just last night, he lit Rupp Arena up. And Terry Roberts here in this game with Georgia. Last 2 games, see it right there, 25 points. But Dexter Dennis, all right, this is a big development. Texas A&M, 6 of 8 from the 3-point line. Dexter Dennis was on fire. And D'Moy Hodge in Missouri has been an incredible story. Yes, defensively, but D'Moy Hodge has established himself as a legit shooter in this league. Love talking about the players that are heating up. And speaking of heating up, second half is rolling. Mississippi State 54% in the second half. Georgia's at 46%.
20-19 at halftime. Scoring has gone way up to start the final 20. Out of the timeout, Georgia basketball trailing by 1. 4 to shoot. And he'll bail him out again. The crossover, that was nasty. Good finish.
That would have. He almost felt like that's what he does, right? In the shot clock situations.
Justin Hill, transfer from Longwood. It's a team that made the tournament. Winning the Big South. Smith outside to Jeffries, nearly traveled. And he did on the tap.
With Braylon Bridges, incredible job defending Tolu Smith. That was a scouting report defensive effort by Braylon Bridges. Knew Tolu Smith wanted to spin back to that left side. Tolu had to kick it back out to DJ. Just threw the entire rhythm off that offensive set.
Roberts against Matthews. Hill, another crossover. And the penetrating finish. Hill's got 8. Matthews trying to spot Smith. Dur Rahim rips it away. Moncrief with position. Outside of Dur Rahim. Moncrief wide open. Too easy.
Look what I found. Right place, right time. That was a great swing pass.
That was a great pass by Abdur Rahim.
That was right back to him. That's a unique give and go opportunity right there.
Moore launching. Matthews the rebound and a fresh 20. Jeffries. Matthews the flush.
Said if I'm getting this second offensive rebound, I'm taking care of it myself. Yeah, Matthews, active player, great athlete.
Mike White calls a timeout. The putback with authority that time from Cameron Matthews in traffic.
He's so active, continuously moving. 2 offensive rebounds on the same possession. You see Georgia's defense packing it in, and they were successful early in the game at forcing Mississippi State to take some jump shots. And Mississippi State has made a few tonight, but certainly the activity on the glass felt like, wow, it just goes up there strong.
Give me the rim cam version. Yes.
I mean, Moncrief is doing everything he can to try to knock him off balance.
This game has not lacked in physicality. 2 first-year head coaches trying to rebuild brands at these 2 institutions. Shooting has picked up in the second half. Pat told you about it moments ago after a sluggish start in the first 20.
Well, both teams right now, both have made 5 threes. Low 20%. So
option. Matthews, a tough rebound. Smith against Bridges. Foul was called. If that's Bridges, that's his 4th.
And Cam Matthews has made 3 huge offensive rebounds. 1 for a stick-back dunk. That one right there, getting that extra possession for Mississippi State, getting to Tolu Smith, which again now, Tolu coming up 2 more free throws, but put another foul on the opponent.
We'll call it on Moncrief, his 3rd, so Bridges is spared there for the moment. Smith made his last 2 at the line. After missing his first 7 tonight.
This is where, right, not only is it late in the game, a little fatigue setting in, but you hear the crowd bend those knees a little bit more. The natural tendency is going to be short front rim. A little extra push.
Oh, Tolu heard you that time.
Back rim.
Bunting.
Nothing wrong with that.
46-45.
And I'm just rooting for everybody, right, to make a shot, so I'm not trying to...
Well, Tolu's certainly better than what he's shown tonight. Mississippi State overall as a team struggled at the line these last couple of games, really in conference play. Roberts, no. Smith, the rebound.
I don't know how Terry Roberts found that seam to the hole to even get that shot off.
Davis. And a foul. Go the other way. Moncrief battling. Cameron Matthews just picked up his fourth.
Well, I don't envy whoever's job is to keep Cam Matthews off the glass, because that guy is coming at you, man. Woo! Relentless.
He's 6'7", but the bounceability makes him feel taller.
Yeah, you talking about the opponents bouncing off of him?
That too.
As far as-
Moncrief at the line. He's got 8 points tonight. 2 of 2 at the stripe. Now 3 of 3. Friday Night Heights headed your way. Coming up on Friday, gymnastics take over the SEC network, of course. Our doubleheader starts at 7 Eastern. 20th ranked Georgia, 14th ranked Mizzou, and then number 8 Alabama, 16th ranked Arkansas. 90 minutes later at 8:30 here on the SEC network. Also on the app. 48-45, and Mike White likes his team's positioning. Smith inside. Matthews another rebound off a Georgia player. That was Moncrief. How crafty was that for number 4 in black?
Man, listen, I know it's easier said than done, right? Keeping him off the glass. I couldn't do it. So it's going to be difficult for everyone. Georgia, excellent job. Again, of affecting shots at the rim. It's just Cam Matthews over and over. Getting an extra possession.
He's got 9 rebounds, 4 on the offensive glass.
There's a huge value in that, especially in a game like this where points are at a premium.
Steckman's getting loud. Shaquille Moore. No.
That in between 10-foot floater, you're moving forward. That's a tough shot, especially from the corner. Especially, I love to stop and pop.
Less than 2 minutes remaining. Roberts bottled up. Bridges. Moncrief. Smith grabs a rebound. In and out for Davis. That would have tied it up. Abdur-Rahim hit the deck hard and a foul call. How did that three-pointer not drop?
We've seen threes and free throws like that. Hill gets shook just a little bit. See, he thought Davis was going to come off that high ball screen. Gave him just enough space. Wow, Abdur-Rahim. This could be the biggest play of the season when you talk about not only preventing Mississippi State from getting another offensive rebound, but you turn this into 2 free throws at the other end.
Jabri Abdur-Rahim, 89% at the line. A 2-possession game. There was confidence there, right?
No waste of time. And he's got the same routine, same rhythm. Don't have to think about it a lot. Ooh. That's clutch now.
All 16 games for number 1 in White coming off the bench this season. Still producing almost 7 points per. That was clutch.
There was no doubt. And you saw his routine, same routine. Didn't take too long. Step up there, 2 dribbles, spin the ball, shoot it.
Take a look at our All-State Mayhem moment. Take it back just 2 minutes in time. Cameron Matthews, aggressive on the glass and on this putback, PB.
Well, he's been the difference, and it's just his energy, effort, getting on the glass, extra possessions. And earlier in that possession, he got another offensive rebound, kicked it out for a 3, and that was the result. Was I'll take care of business myself. And we knew it was going to be that physical type of game, as Mississippi State is one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the nation. 39% of the opponent's of their shots, they're able to get that offensive rebound.
All right, Mike White, Chris Jans. What's the strategy here for Mississippi State 2 timeouts remaining. You got about 90 seconds to work with, trailing by 5.
Well, plenty of time, obviously. They've been playing through Tolu Smith. Georgia has done an excellent job of packing that paint. So if Mississippi State continue to move, they've had success when they've spaced it out and either allowed Tolu Smith to draw that double team or a penetration to the lane and play off of that. Now, with that being said, you got to understand Cam Smith has gotten you 4 offensive rebounds in the last few possessions of this game.
If you're looking for Texas A&M and Missouri, we will send you out to College Station when we are done in Athens. Great crowd, good atmosphere, a lot of celebrating still going down from Monday night out in Los Angeles. Bulldogs from Mississippi State with work to do. Moore is wide open. Matthews, another rebound, he's got 10. Davis for 3, and that's good. A monster shot from deep.
Came off another offensive rebound. And one of the reasons offensive rebound, kick back for a 3, is because you're facing the passer. I understand the defense is scrambling also, but you're facing him and you're already set.
Under a minute to go. 1 possession game, Terry Roberts. The drive was clipped on the release. Roberts to the line.
He's going back to what a nice sweet pass. Sean Davis again, just getting his feet set, ready to shoot.
Terry Roberts to the line for the Dogs.
Scramble play right there, as we talked about.
Say, Pat, the foul was called on Shaquille Moore on the other side. Roberts swishes the first. 15 points tonight for Terry Roberts.
The benefit of having a guy like Terry Roberts, who's good, not only at scoring, he can pass, so you got to account for that, is at the end of game situations, Mike White's like, okay, Terry, get us something. Get us something good here. We need a bucket.
Still time for Mississippi State. Moore. Reed, no. Cleared by Bridges. And the handoff to Hill. A foul was called. An enormous exchange there.
Reed had a look at it, no doubt. However, but elected to attempt to attack that rim again. Huge rebound effort. Last 2 possessions by Georgia.
I think there was confusion on who should be shooting these free throws, whether it was Hill or Bridges. It is, in fact, Bridges.
Right.
So he's now a free throw away from 1,000 points. In game number 100. There it is.
So we saw his 500th rebound and his 1,000th point.
Well, he needs 1 more. Oh, so that was number 999. I want to put the cart ahead of the horse here. It's the classic announcer jinx. There it is.
I knew it. That's the way he strokes it.
So game number 100 for Braylon Bridges. Rebound number 500 goes down. Point number 1,000 occurs.
Historic night. Now let's see if Georgia can get that one stop that they need, defensive rebound, steal, whatever it is. And a 6-point, 2-possession game. So Coach Jans is probably going to try to draw something up to get a good 3-point look. Oh.
So 54-48. Chris Jans will talk things over with his team. I agree with your assessment. Probably need a 3 here with 21 seconds remaining, trailing by 6 points.
If you can get a good look, right, early, then sure, you got to take it. However, with 21 seconds, you get a quick 2. Foul, you keep the game alive. There's still a chance on that. So I wouldn't force anything, because if you force him at 3, not a good look. Georgia gets the rebound. Now they're back on the free throw line, and you get nothing out of it.
So Mississippi State on the road tonight, trying to even up its SEC record at this point in time. Georgia at home. Mike White hasn't lost a game here yet. and has a chance to improve to 17-1 as a head coach in this building. I mean, there could be something special cooking here.
Yeah, we can't stress how important it is to win at home because of how difficult this league is everywhere, right? Every team, any given night, but for your fans to win in front of your home crowd and for your players to feel that confidence, like we know, okay, in this home arena, we're going to play good. And send a message to your opponents as well.
And it sends a message to the national championship winning head football coach in attendance that, hey, we're here to play a little quality sport as well. We call it basketball in Athens.
And we'd like you to come to every game if you could. We're pretty good when the coach, Kirby Smart's here. Let's see, we got shooters. Shaq Moore.
Davis has to get it in bounds, finally does to Matthews. He's got to go, and a dunk.
2 seconds it took him.
54-50. Now either a steal or a quick foul. The name of the game. Both teams one timeout remaining. Moncrief easily accepts the pass, and the bump foul called on Matthews. That's going to be his fifth. And Cameron Matthews' night comes to a close. 8 points, 10 rebounds.
So now, with 15 seconds left, you do have a timeout if you're Mississippi State. You're looking at a two-possession game regardless. If he makes one or two.
Hill's 2 for 2 at the line, 76% on the year. Well, you can't say enough about how he contributed coming off the bench tonight. Those 2 threes in the second half.
Huge. Oh, yeah. So with 15 seconds left, if you get it up the floor, you're gonna have to make a three. You're gonna have to attempt one.
Georgia has hit its free throws down the stretch. Chris Jans will look back on this game, 7 of 22 at the line. Bit more production there. Perhaps the outcome is different.
Keyshawn Murphy coming in the game. Another three-point shooter for Mississippi State for Tolu Smith. And you may only have 1-2 passes. Yeah, you gotta put it up.
There's more. And tapped out back to Georgia. Cancel him out. Hill set to check back in. 6.5 seconds remain.
What a win by Georgia. Man, Mississippi State, if you couldn't tell already, makes things difficult every part of the game. And just when you think, okay, their offense isn't clicking, not making shots, well, they'll get on the glass and they'll beat you. But Georgia was able to fight enough, make enough shots. You mentioned Justin Hill coming through with some big shots.
Upcoming schedule, road trip to Rupp coming up next week. After a trip to Oxford this weekend.
Ooh, man.
And then Tennessee, South Carolina. So some games coming up that are manageable, and also some games they're gonna test you a little bit.
It's going to be a hungry Ole Miss team. Needless to say, a hungry Kentucky team, right? Ole Miss coming off of a loss as well as Kentucky. But both teams, Ole Miss and Kentucky, trying to figure themselves out right now. Things aren't clicking really for either team, although Georgia seems they're going to feel really good about themselves after this win.
What a week it has been in Athens. Mike White, year number 1, up to an outstanding start now on the verge of improving to 12-4, 2-1 in the SEC. Think about Georgia a year ago. 1 conference victory. The Dogs were 1-17 to close things down last winter. Chance to double that win total in league play tonight. 1 more foul called.
This is where I was pushing everybody out of the way to try to catch that inbounds pass. Foul me, foul me. Get to the free throw line. Get 2 extra attempts.
Rashawn Holt at the line. 4 points tonight, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Georgia with this win, Pat's going to improve to 10-0 at home this year. That 10-game home court winning streak, it's only happened 5 times previously in program history, my friend.
Well, that energy, and it starts to build amongst the students, the fans, and they expect to see a victory. That's it. You created the monster, now you got to feed it.
Moore's 3 at the horn. The initial indication is it will not count. And that'll do it here in Athens. 58-50, our final score. For Pat Bradley, our entire crew, I'm Roy Philpott saying good night. Send you over to Bryan College Station. Dave Deal, John Sunvold, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Roy.